All right, as we continue with international politics, and we'll tie this into the fact that the United States government wants you to just take their word for everything. They are the experts on medicine. They are the experts on what will be a false flag. They are the experts on what should and should not be allowed on Spotify. They are the experts on who and who should not be deplatformed. So before we get that, Saturday Night Live, of course, did more bidding from the government.
I'm laughing already.
Comedy? Are we sure?
I really like it when Catherine McKinnon does that smile.
Every time. Every time.
So SNL recently did this sketch about the Russian disinformation about the Ukraine. How much of this do we have to watch?
I don't know.
All right. By the way, before I talk about this, there's a couple of angry people on CNN right now saying U.S. officials warn Russia could invade Ukraine any day. Here's the thing: the Ukraine officials say that's bullshit. So
not so much.
We'll get to that, but this is, you see, right? You see synergistically them operating, all of the media, the government, and then, of course, SNL. And here's the question. How do all of them get it wrong? How do all of them get it wrong together? What are the chances of CNN, ABC, NBC, CBS, Jen Psaki, former Vice President Joe Biden, and SNL getting this wrong? Did they have a meeting and say, did they have a meeting behind our back and say, let's just screw everything up? So
yes,
here's the SNL sketch about Russian disinformation with the Ukraine.
Mr. President. Mr. President, the situation in Ukraine is growing tenser by the hour. Putin has amassed over 100,000 troops at the border.
We're even getting some reports that Russia has already invaded, but those are from the same people who said Tom Brady retired. So take it with a grain of salt.
You know, what about the NATO forces? Are they ready to back us up?
He sounds more like George Bush than Biden.
Yeah. Ukraine, except Germany. They're staying out of it.
Oh, man. Germany doesn't want to go to war. You know it's bad.
Sir, if I may, Russia's military presence may be the least of our problems.
We've been tracking the spread of Russian disinformation in Ukraine, and there are some lies Ukrainians don't know what to believe anymore.
Russia tried that during our last election, too, but it didn't work.
Well, 40% of Americans think you lost the election, so it kind of did.
Is he George C. Scott?
Take a look at these posts that are circulating on Ukrainian Facebook.
Is she Kamala?
Ukrainian border encroaching on Russian
troops. She can't be. She's not Indian.
Russian forces surrounding Ukraine just to give it big hug.
Ukrainian president horny for drama, wants war, slap me harder, daddy.
I'm going to break my New Year's resolution and say it. Malarkey.
They're also bringing our country into it.
Why is he doing Bush Jr.?
I don't know why he's doing Bush Jr. And the thing is, it's not accurate. It's not the reason the George Bush impression was funny was because there was some truth. The truth would be, you know, if he had like if he had a shart stain halfway up his back right now, and he didn't know where he was. But they can't do that on SNL because, you know, they're buddies. They're drinking buddies.
Yeah. In real life, he would have had 8 strokes already.
Yes.
Spelled the worst way. I'm a junior at a vicious girls' high school, and y'all work for me now.
Let's just do something fun and simple that everyone can get behind. Like a drone strike.
Cancel SNL?
Okay. Mr. President, I think your generation could learn a lot from mine. Like, we don't believe in drone strikes. We believe in breaking down our enemies psychologically.
You've been doing it for years, SNL.
Yes. Yeah. That's how they got Khalid Sheikh Mohammed to talk. They're saying, all right, we're going to put on seasons 19 through 24 of SNL. No, okay, I'll tell you, the bomb's in the children's school. Okay, I give.
I don't understand what I just saw.
I don't understand it either. This is the problem with, look, and whether we understand it or not, you have to acknowledge that it's a joke, that it's comedy. Yeah. Okay, fine.
No.
However, there does need to be a kernel of truth to it to be funny, right? For the same reason that people are outraged over some of the comments that Joe Rogan has made, there's a kernel of truth to the things that he says, and it offends people. It upsets people. This doesn't make – you can't parody Joe Biden and not acknowledge what the vast majority of Americans know, that he's not in his right mind.
Absolutely. Well, the biggest laugh that they got was at the very beginning when the general said Mr. President, and everybody's like, that's part of the joke, right?
They must be some of that 40% who are victims of
exactly
Russian disinformation campaign.
Whoops.
Yes, no, that's why Americans think that the most free, fair, secure election of all time might have had some foul play, because they spent $13,000 on Facebook ads, the Ruskies. That's what it is. It's like Red Dawn with laptops. That's what happened.
Yeah, okay.
Slap Me Harder Daddy wouldn't have been irreverent in 1975 when the show came out.
Right, I know.
I mean, that's
Yeah.
bad.
It's
Pushing the limits there, are you?
They're going to be like,
really?
special guest, Carol Burnett. And then have someone or someone else come out from laughing, sock it to me. So this is all despite the fact, talking about Russian disinformation, that Ukrainian president, or as, he's labeled an unauthoritative source by Twitter, YouTube, and President Zelensky accused the West of causing, quote, panic over Russian invasion, said the threat was real but not imminent, as the U.S. has explained in a comment that he made. A source close to Zelensky also quipped, quite frankly, these Americans are safer in Kiev than they are in Los Angeles or any other crime-ridden city in the United States.
Oh, wow.
No, he's not wrong.
That seems to be pushing back kind of hard.
Yes.
Have you been to L.A.?
What did we do to deserve that?
Yes, no, this is Kiev. Oh, no, it's no Skid Row, but I hear that Jamie Foxx plays mean violin, so trade-off.
Yes, he's very good.
For crying out loud. And so last week, too, talking about Russian disinformation. This is what SNL has gone along with. And, of course, this is what all of big tech has gone along with. And we're going to talk about GoFundMe, what's happening with Canada. This is when people say it's not censorship unless the government is silencing you. That's not true anymore. When the government is saying we want big tech to eliminate these voices, or we want big tech to mislabel these voices or label them as disinformation, when they are calling out and having meetings with these people, they are acting as an arm. They are acting as thugs for the government.
Watch Louder with Crowder live, Monday through Thursday, 10 a.m. Eastern.